Let's start in London. With that highly competitive, deeply thought out and very profound, let's overanalyse it. Chelsea 3, Liverpool 1. Okay, league title locked up. Raw, it's Guard of Honour time. Jazz hands, everybody. We talked about it last week. This quaint old tradition in the modern period looks a little like a throwback. The Chelsea players line up side by side, a mark of respect, only slightly undermined by the howling boos of many Chelsea fans. English pundits weighed in immediately. Rio Ferdinand, I think Peter Crouch too, said it's very embarrassing. I think Peter Crouch said that he'd had one. And it was embarrassing to have one and embarrassing to give it. Roy Keane fired back. I love Roy Keane. Comes out with this incredible quote. Part of the game, the respect. To get respect, you have to show it, which is like Roy Keane doing a Ric Flair wrestling tribute. I mean, we talked about this last week, but this particular Guard of Honour, Raw, as a Liverpool fan, you must have loved it. Seeing Mo Salah clapped by Chelsea players whose shirt he wore, I think, for just 13 Premier League appearances and has now scored 183 Premier League goals later. Caicedo, Lavia, Enzo, who rejected Liverpool quite publicly, deciding to go to Chelsea for enormous sums of money, having to give $20 million man Endo, starting here at Guard of Honour. This whole Guard of Honour, it was you could almost make a movie on it, Raw. It was a reminder that in football, like life, just everything goes in the most unpredictable of ways.
It does. Credit to Noni Madueke for indulging one of my favourite football traditions, which is doing a Guard of Honour but not clapping. I think that's really important. I think that's what you should do. You should do a Guard of Honour but not clap. The thing is, it is awkward. It must be distasteful for the players, and it must be embarrassing for both sets of players because they are mutual. They're all professionals. They are kind of mutual. They're peers. Most of them will know each other socially in some senses. You saw a couple of the players kind of giving high fives to the Chelsea players as they walk through. But ultimately, it's like we said last week, it's a nice tradition. And yes, it's embarrassing. Yes, it's a bit awkward. And yes, the Chelsea fans booed it. But I kind of agree with Roy Keane. It's showing respect for an achievement, for a fellow professional's achievement. And we shouldn't really feel that awkward about that, to be honest.
I do think they should be forced to wear booters. They should go all in.
I'd like to see them
throw them up in the air. Yeah, throw them up in the air as they confetti. I mean, just like you either do it.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah, it would be amazing. That's what I'm saying. You either like make them really commit or don't. Yeah. But this half-assery. I love how deeply you've watched this because clearly it was one of the greatest moments of action from this entire weekend of football, and you've watched it. Like a conspiracy theorist look at the Zapruder film. Why do you think Madueke did not clap? Do you think he's like? Was that his statement? He thinks ultimately Manchester City's collapse. Arsenal's no-show. Was he diminishing the Liverpool title? Was he asterisking you?
Was it the most eloquent assessment of the season so far that Noni Madueke was saying, you are champions, but you don't really deserve it. It's all PGMOL. Maybe it was that. This is all the referee's fault. I think it's probably because, and I don't know Noni Madueke at all, I think it's probably because he found it quite hard to do a bit drawling and he chose not to clap. But I just really admire it. Bernardo Silva once did it for Liverpool as well, just refused to clap. Did a Guard of Honour, didn't clap. Nice. That's what I'd do.
I've got Virgil van Dijk coming on this week, and I think question one is going to be, what do you think of? What does it feel when you Guard of Honours, Virg, for or against, go? By the way, the team selection also, essentially from a Liverpool perspective, was very Guard of Honour-y. Slot made 6 changes, gave Endo and Harvey Elliott their first starts of the season. Interesting to see them given a chance. Also fascinating from Liverpool criminologist perspective to see that the team sheet was devoid of Federico Chiesa and Darwin Núñez as starters, which was essentially the sound of their bags being packed. And that good vibe of the Noni Madueke Guard of Honour, no clapping, it lasted about 3 minutes, which is all it took for your Europa Conference League finalists, soon to be Chelsea, to muster a move of quite transcendent collective cohesion, evolving to unglue this Liverpool midfield that honestly has barely played together as starters. Lavia measured a finely timed ball to free Cole Palmer, which sounds like a political movement, but it isn't. He just kind of broken Curtis Jones's ankles by running a move that looked like it was out of Hard Knocks. I think like wide receiver, what do you call it? You call it like button hook to post, whatever it was. It just utterly synapsed and left poor Curtis utterly floundering. Ball fed to Neto. Angled a stunning low centre, taking out 3 defenders. Found Enzo free in the box. Had all the time to control the ball and then just side foot it home past a stunned, exposed Alisson. One of my favourite kinds of Alisson. In this moment, Rory, you're like, Todd Burley knows ball.
I mean, it's hard not to just be touched by the fact that all it took to get that brilliant move and put it together was $500 million in 2 years. It was a great goal. And look, Chelsea...
Changed down the couch.
Chelsea, obviously, in that moment, what you saw was one team that was trying and wanted to win and had a few players in the side that have a bit of a point to prove and maybe are, I'm not sure that it's quite right to say they're playing for their futures, but they maybe want to use these few games as kind of an audition. And then you saw another team that had an actual purpose. Essentially, that was Chelsea setting their stall out effectively and saying, you lot might be, thinking about your guards of honour, and the fans in the away end might be coming up with a load of new songs, but we are here to win and to get into the Champions League. And that kind of all crystallised in that goal. Just Chelsea looked in that moment really sharp, really slick, and really high quality.
Are you trying to undermine is this where we are? The competitive nature of this game, Raw? I'm not going to stand for it because Liverpool had 65% possession, did almost nothing with it. I'll be honest, I was with you mentally. I spent huge chunks of this game trying to work out which Liverpool player was the most hungover. And then thinking it was actually Mo Salah, which doesn't make any sense because he does not actually drink. But the way he was failing to control the ball in positions in which he would look to devour the opposition for much of this season. I mean, that was a symbol of your Liverpool right now. It's possibly the experimental lineup, probably mentally foot off the gas because title in the bag. I mean, honestly, Liverpool, when they play one of those friendlies in like Ann Arbor in August, in 110 degrees, seem to try and give more. Or this felt like no stakes. Were you watching Liverpool? Did you care at all watching? Be honest.
Yeah, I don't like watching Liverpool lose. I think it would be weird if you were kind of fine with it. It's annoying to watch them lose. But I will admit that when Chelsea scored, when it went 2-0, it didn't make any huge emotional impact on me. I think what you have to remember is it's fine. Everything is fine margins. So it's not that Liverpool weren't trying; they were trying. And to be honest, in patches, I thought they played quite well. They looked pretty good. They had a little bit of zip about them. Didn't quite sustain it for any kind of prolonged period of time. But second half of the first half, the second quarter, they were the better team. They looked on top. But the difference is that their motivation, even if it's just like 0.001% down, that's a big difference in elite football.
You sound like you're in the actor's studio. What's my motivation? They did score.
Got to find your motivation.
Credit them. There was one of my favourite Liverpool goals of the season, 56 minute. Cole Palmer torched Tsimikas in a way that was reminiscent. And go and look at him on YouTube, dear listeners. Garrincha, just a iconic Brazilian. He would have been a superstar by today's standards. He was very much overshadowed, arguably wrongly, by Pelé in the Brazilian prime. Garrincha, and when you watch his highlights, used to delight in beating players to such a degree that he'd often beat his defender and then let the defender get up off the floor so he could beat him again. That is the style in which Cole Palmer beat Tsimikas that badly, then thrashed in a cross. And Endo blocked. Was it a Madueke finish? No clapping, baby. But then Big Verge, this was the moment of the day, tried to thrash away and only succeeded, and quite deliciously smashing the ball off Quanza's drumstick. What did I say about not practising Schadenfreude? That lasted for all of 5 minutes. Raw, where has this Liverpool been all season? This was the Liverpool I hoped to... Do you remember the first game of the season? Quanza. Like, genuinely so terrible in that opening game. Was it against Ipswich? That Arne Slot pulled him off at half-time. I was like, oh my God, watching this performance, I was like, there could have been an alternate history of Liverpool. It might have all been so different, sliding doors, if Quanza had played that whole game.
Yeah, I feel quite sorry for Quanza because he is one of those players who always seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. He is obviously a hugely talented defender. He wouldn't be playing in the Premier League if he wasn't. But he looks an awful lot like a man who maybe needs a loan spell somewhere. I think you really have to give credit to Liverpool. It's not often you get a team who not only score an own goal, but also get the assist for the own goal. That's high quality stuff.
By the way, that is slot ball. God bless Chelsea fans deliriously singing the Stevie G Denver Bar Slip song. Liverpool fans countered by "You could have won the league at Lavia." Even as Darwin Nunez somehow headed wide from a free header 6 yards out. I'll just say this, don't like to give people unsolicited advice, but do needs to get on the Arabic, on Duolingo, pronto. Liverpool have only been shut out once this season. Arne Slot came on last week and brought it up himself, I think twice. The Nottingham Forest loss, that is stinging him. Which was unbelievable, even with the title in the bag. Arne Slot is still thinking about that Nottingham Forest game. Verge did get one back, got a little bit nervy for a moment for Chelsea, but when Quansah is there is no need to be afraid. Gifted a penalty in the last moment. Cole Palmer stepped up, rolled home his first goal in 19 games. Who's counting? 1,162 minutes dating back to, is it January 14th? Later said, social media nowadays is full of idiots. Not wrong. The trolls and whatever. By the way, everything this man says is so accurate and beautiful and right. Should be given his own current affairs show. I adore that man. Never give him social media training. Keep Cole Palmer pure. You could tell what it meant to Maresca in that moment. Just a roar from him on the sideline. I think audible in outer space. Enormous win for Chelsea. Now behind fourth place Newcastle United on goals scored. Same goal difference of plus 21. 3 points clear of Forest and Villa. Forest play Palace this afternoon. Almost perfectly sets up their visit to Tyneside next weekend. They've still got to play United. They don't have to play El Grande, Nottingham Forest on the last day of the season. Are we calling it raw? Are Chelsea back?
Chelsea are having a strong finish, and I look forward to them ruining the momentum they're building by signing loads of players in the summer. They look set fair now, I think, to make it. They've been really helped to an extent by the fact that the Premier League's performance in Europe means they have got that fifth Champions League spot. That I think to an extent that has energised quite a lot of the teams, but Chelsea maybe more than most. But look, I don't want to diminish their achievement in recovering from that dip that they had around the start of the year. Maresca has forged something out of them. I think that's 1 defeat in 9 now. They look like they're ready to go again. This is where they should be. Chelsea should be qualifying for the Champions League with the squad that they've built, with the team that they've got. It's hard to feel too stirred and too emotional by their sudden surge back into those positions. But but that's not to say that Maresca doesn't deserve credit, because he does. He's managed to kind of put together a season that should end now in what counts as success for Chelsea. But that said, Newcastle away, Forest away, that's tough.
Maresca's a chess player. I think he'll be understanding the season as good opening game, terrible middle game, fantastic closing end game.